So let's talk about the Los Angeles Lakers. They are 15-9. They've won 4 in a row. Having the best basketball player ever, it definitely helps. It's been kind of proven at this point. And I think the biggest thing to take note of is how much better defensively they've been since Tyson Chandler showed up. When I did the video for them getting him, I said it would not transform their defense. You could argue I was wrong because they went from like 20th to 3rd, or they've been 3rd in the last 14 games. And while I don't think Tyson has just stepped in and been like a defensive player of the year candidate, it has made it to where they don't have to use those small lineups anymore, right? And Tyson has been closing out games for them, and he's been good. Another thing we have to take note of is that Kyle Kuzma, in the last like 9 games or so, has been really good defensively because now he's not around the basket and he's able to move around the perimeter and he's playing a little harder, and you would expect like physically that he'd be able to do it, and he has been able to. He's been able to fight around screens, provide some help defense, stay in front of guys, and you combine that with Lonzo, who's awesome, and Josh Hart, who quietly may actually be the second best player on this team, and LeBron at least being awake 50% of the time defensively, I guess. It's just enough for this team to be really awesome on defense right now. Do I think they can maintain this? Honestly, kinda, yeah, as long as everybody's healthy. I guess the one fear is that JaVale just nosedives back down to what we've seen him be in the past, but look, he's been good for, over 20 games at this point, and now they've got Tyson Chandler to split the minutes with him, so I don't even think that's that big of a deal. Now, what is also an interesting thing, though, is how the offense has had a bit of a tough time lately. In those same 14 games since they got Tyson Chandler, they are 21st in offense. And that's combined with LeBron bailing them out of some games. So, what is the reason for this? I mean, you can look to the awkwardness between LeBron and Brandon Ingram, okay? I like Ingram for the reasons that I say every time I bring up the dude, but it's definitely been not the best fit, okay? We saw last year with the Lakers, Ingram had the ball in his hand a lot, where he was able to either, have some like jab step mid-range jumpers, or have some like post-ups / ISOs, or some pick and rolls and all that, and I don't have the numbers in front of me. I know he's not getting the ball as much as he did last season. And if he is, it's definitely not in the same ways. Maybe it's like off of a cut now or something with LeBron initiating, which should be the case because as much as I like Brandon Ingram, we all know who should have the ball the most on this team. So, you have that with the fact that Ingram is not totally like the best just stand in the corner type of guy. And it just creates some awkward moments. I think one thing you could do is you could try Brandon with some second units where, when LeBron is not in there, and granted, LeBron still plays a lot of the game, so it's not like Ingram is going to have all the room in the world to just do stuff with LeBron not in there, but it's at least a few more minutes a game. Besides that, you could run some more sets for Ingram to, cut to the basket, coming around screens and all that. And the thing is, for as much negativity as Brandon Ingram is getting, he is still putting up 15 points on 47% shooting, okay? I know the three-pointers have fallen off a cliff and all that, but, it's not horrible right now. I mean, hell, even when LeBron and Ingram are out there together in the last, 15 games or so, it's still a positive net rating. Now, sure, the offensive rating is 103, which is towards the bottom of the league, but it's not a disaster. Now, at the same time, though, if you compare LeBron and Ingram since this team got Tyson Chandler and LeBron and Josh Hart since this team got Chandler, it's drastically different. I mean, LeBron and Josh Hart together in the 142 minutes they've played together in the last 14 games, a positive net rating of 22 with an offensive rating of 111, which is as you would expect, really good. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's LeBron and shooting. I mean, if you look at LeBron, Hart, and Kuzma together, those three have been incredible, where the net rating is 36. Now, granted, it's only 63 minutes together, but I think Luke he definitely figured it out last night, because those three were on the floor together late, and, Hart hit a couple of of big threes for them. Yeah, I mean, you put LeBron out there with your two best shooters, a respectable big man who can roll and play defense, and then one other dude who doesn't suck. Yeah, you're going to win. Now, the thing is right now, while Ingram certainly doesn't suck, it seems that Lonzo is more comfortable being that other guy in that scenario than Ingram is. I mean, we saw last night with Lonzo. Yeah, Mark Jackson stupidly thought that Lonzo should have taken those open threes. But, the defense left Lonzo open. They also left Josh Hart open. Both times, Lonzo throws a dart to Josh Hart for an open three-pointer after LeBron throws the initial cross-court pass to Lonzo. Now, in that same situation, if you have Brandon Ingram, maybe he takes that three, and we all know Josh Hart is a better three-point shooter than Ingram. Maybe Ingram hesitates for a split second and then decides what he's going to do, and then in that moment, the defense is able to get back. I don't know, but as of right now, Lonzo seems to be the best option there. But at the same time, I would definitely keep experimenting with that, where you have Ingram in that specific lineup. When I say the specific lineup, I basically mean LeBron, Josh Hart, Kyle Kuzma, Tyson Chandler, and then either Lonzo or Ingram. Give both of those guys time to figure it out. In a weird way, you would think that Ingram would be better for it, just because Lonzo typically is like playmaking point guard, but given that Lonzo's three-pointer has been a little better, and again, because he's just so decisive when he knows what he's going to do right when he gets the ball. So yeah, besides that, is there anything else this team really needs? I mean, they need a second superstar, but if we're talking about just this season, little adjustments they can make. Sometimes I think they really need one more knockdown shooter. Like they've been having... Because if you look at it, like KCP is playing 21 minutes a game, Lance Stevenson is playing 15, and both of those dudes, I mean, Lance has been league average, so give him credit, but, I mean, most of his career, he's been average to below average from three. So, if you could just turn those dudes' minutes into someone, I don't know who it is, that would be awesome. I mean, I don't think it's going to be Shfee McCulloch, because... For one, the dude has struggled on his open threes this year, and two, I don't know if he can hang around defensively. I mean, he's got the size at 6'8", but I don't know if he's totally an NBA player right now. Is it possible that Mo Wagner could be that guy? Maybe. The dude seems like he can shoot, but I don't know if you can really ask him to play heavy minutes as well as not play center, I guess. Beasley, maybe not. I'm not exactly holding out on that one. Yeah, I think they could just get one other guy who can really knock down some threes, and then you could have a lineup where it's LeBron, Hart, Kuzma, knockdown shooter, and then Tyson Chandler. That could be something, And then you would still have the Lonzo thing, which has been going pretty okay, and then you could still try out Ingram with that lineup. Yeah, I think the Lakers are in a pretty good spot. And what's nuts is they've been as good as they've been lately, and it doesn't seem like they've really figured it out yet. Like, if you look at the flow of this team offensively, there are a lot of possessions where LeBron brings it up, and then you can tell that there's this energy where it's like there isn't a specific play called, and not everybody really knows how to move off of LeBron, although I think Lonzo's figuring it out a little bit. He seems to be the one guy who will, just set a random screen or something, but I don't know if they're ever going to really figure that out, because you could argue that Cleveland's never really figured that out playing off of LeBron like that, but I think there is another level this offense can get to, not just in terms of lineups, but in terms of just general movement, I guess. But anyway, they're good. They got the best player in the world. They've got who I believe to be the best player ever, and it's just kind of working out,